Yes, Margaret, there is a devil. An explanation of extant evil. Now, this is a question I get a lot, although it takes different forms. Sometimes people ask me, are you just dehumanizing people by calling them leftists? Other times it's your explanation of what happened doesn't make any sense. Nobody could be that crazy or insane. Surely there must be another explanation. What you said is just too out there. I can't believe that that's what actually happened. And you see, with each of these, each time I get this question, it's because I'm talking about evil. And that's what I'm going to try and explain to you folks in this video, the nature of evil, because it doesn't make any sense. We're not talking about greed. Greed is, I'm going to rob a bank because I want a bunch of money. That makes sense. But we're not talking about competition over scarce resources. If there's scarce resources, then people are going to fight over them. Again, that's human nature. That's normal. We're not talking about anger. It's like, I'm furious with this person, so I want to hurt them. We're not talking about that. That's prosaic. That's easy. That's normal. No, we're going to be talking about evil. And there's a quote that starts off one of my favorite video games, Pathologic. They're working on a remake with an actual English translation, so I'll hold off for that. But the quote starts, "Evidence of the supernatural appears far more often than reasonable men would like." And this is one of those cases. This is not reasonable. This is not materialist. This is inexplicable. I really think that good Christians and good Jews, you need to have faith in God. You need to make the decision to have faith in God, because you're not going to find God anywhere out there. But if you look, Satan is something that you know exists. So let's start off. We're going to talk about narcissism and our narcissistic culture. The Last Psychiatrist writes brilliantly about this, about how narcissistic and ego-driven our culture is. And it's in so many ways. It's so hard to actually get out of this conversation. It's almost, like I'm sure we've all noticed a lot of newspeak, a lot of 1984 newspeak, where you can't actually speak rationally because the words don't mean what they used to mean anymore. And it's, I wish we had a Ministry of Truth disseminating all of this. It's worse than that. It's a system-wide narcissistic culture. So you've got, for instance, NPR. Whenever they talk about politics, and I really recommend you listen to some of this, tune into NPR, listen to them talk about politics. It's all about the perception. Everything that happens politically is only done to influence the political base. This politician is voting for this so that he looks like he's really strong on these moral standards. Moral standards themselves are just outfits that we put on to impress other people. Whether it's an SJW promoting equality or a conservative opposing gay marriage, these are outfits that we put on. You've got, Oprah. Whenever Oprah is talking to parents about child rearing, at the core, the underlying subtext of the conversation is that the way your children turn out is a reflection upon you. It's how people think of you. And ultimately, we've got the whole subculture thing. The way people dress. People don't dress to express an inner truth. A solid core of iron that is unchanging about them. People dress to pretend that they have an inner core, to act like there is some substance to the person, but it's just the outfit that you buy at Hot Topic. Signaling, that's a term that's becoming quite popular nowadays in the alternative right, because it's all signaling. Everything we do nowadays is signaling. There is no innate virtue. There is no true narrative. It's ironic in the era of 24/7 news coverage when we have no mythos. We have no. We have not like the mythos, the absolute, the higher truth, and the inner reality of truth. Like we have neither of those. We just have the surface, the veneer, the sheen. And this is just average people. You understand that this is not the true narcissist. Most people are acting like narcissists, and then that's what the last psychiatrist writes about. He writes about a narcissistic behaving person, and inside most people are just confused. They're lost. They don't know what they are. But some of them become full-blown narcissists. And the full-blown narcissist, well, what is it? What is a narcissist? It doesn't mean somebody that likes attention. Okay, that like the psychology can, ting, ting, ting. They can write all the bullet points for it, but it's not going to tell you what it is. What a narcissist is, it's somebody who at their core is nothing but rage, hatred, and shame. They need to create this shell around themselves, almost an event horizon of personality. They need to constantly redefine it, and they constantly need to be affirmed in that definition, because there's nothing on the inside. There is a black hole on the inside. A man that lives his life for value, with integrity, a man that knows who he is. It doesn't matter what the slings and arrows of the world say. He knows himself. He knows what's going on the inside. And so nobody likes being thought poorly of, but it's not going to destroy him. The narcissist has nothing there. They are nothing but the shell. There is an honest to God, you can't answer this question. We'll never be able to answer this question. But when you have a true narcissist, is there a soul in there? Or is the soul dead? Is the soul gone? We can never know, because that shell personality is all you will ever see. You rip off one layer, another one snaps into place immediately. The closest you will ever come to knowing a narcissist is if they try and murder you. The blind hatred. Or if they commit suicide to hurt you. Blind hatred and shame. That's all that's going on inside the narcissist. And so let's think of some examples of this. In Bachelor Pad Economics, one of the first things that Aaron writes about, or not Bachelor Pad Economics, the Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, one of the first things he writes about is the fact that if you're a young black man in the ghetto trying to get out, you will be attacked. You will be hated. People will be jealous of you. They will do everything in their power to drag you back down. And it's not for their own benefit. I mean, realistically speaking, wouldn't you, if you were a poor ghetto black, wouldn't you love to have a rich friend? I mean, they certainly take advantage of the sports playing friends. And again, becoming a rich basketball player, that's allowed in the ghetto culture, because it never happens. It's like winning the lottery. They'll take advantage of that guy. But anybody that tries to study hard, that tries to improve themselves, that doesn't get involved in crime, they want to drag that person down, because it's a threat to their identity. If that guy can become a success, that means it's my own fault for being a failure. That means I should be ashamed of myself. That means I should be honest with myself, and they can't do that. So they drag them down. Feminism. there's a few feminists that, like, I will argue with them, I disagree with them, but I respect them. Christina Hoff Sommers is one. Camille Paglia is another one. I disagree with them on a lot of things, but they genuinely mean what they say. They actually want women to do better. They think that more women should have interesting jobs and that they'll be happy doing those jobs. They're honest. They're decent, ensouled human beings, and we need more people like them, even if I disagree with their politics. That's not the average feminist is, though. And one example of this, the whole date rape thing. Why do feminists want to prosecute date rape? Now, in the manosphere, in the neo-masculinity movement, red pill, whatever, we tend to say it's hatred of masculinity, and that's only one half of the coin. It's hatred of humanity. It's hatred of men and women. Because here's the thing, if you tell these 20-year-old girls that you can claim date rape and we'll believe you 100% and no one's going to... What this does, you empower the woman to go put herself in risky situations. You're not saying, hey, look out for yourself, nobody else is going to take care of you, watch your six, make sure you go out with friends. That would actually improve a woman's lot in life. And of course, you say that and women start freaking out and screaming. And no, they're telling women all of this so that they will put themselves in dangerous situations, so that they will degrade themselves. So that all women, it's crabs in the bucket, we're going to drag you down. Because if you're happy and successful, then what am I? Marxists. They're traitors to their own culture. You know, they backstab their own countries and ally with the enemy. This is not, they might paint it as some sort of, well, we're like, this war on oil is killing lots of Arab babies. And then that's true. That's a valid stance. These wars aren't being fought very effectively. But that's not why they do it. They do it to increase war. So here's the thing. If you're a narcissist, if all you have is this fake personality, you don't have love. You don't have anybody intimate with you. And anybody that does become intimate is going to see through your fake personality. They're going to see how pathetic and ugly you are on the inside. And you know you don't deserve to be loved. And since you know you don't deserve to be loved, the worst thing that can happen to you is somebody actually caring about you, even though you don't deserve it. And so they lash out. They try and drag others down. They try and destroy others. They couch. Again, this is the narcissistic culture thing. It's like, this politician's just saying this to impress his base. They couch their arguments in moral words, in moral standards. They say they're trying to help other people when what they want is to drag people down to where they are. So the social justice warrior, the sexual degenerate social justice warrior, the frickin' otherkin weirdo, he claims he wants acceptance. He claims, like, listen, this is just what I do in my bedroom, so don't judge me, don't gay bash me, don't anything. That's what he says. He doesn't want that. He wants to make everybody else just as contemptible and perverse as he is. The socialist, they don't want an equitable distribution of income. They want to destroy wealth. And the identitarian infiltrator, the guy that joins your movement, he doesn't want the movement to win. He doesn't want success. He doesn't want the principles of whatever it is to actually succeed. He wants it to fail. It's an ugly goddamn thing, folks. And it really doesn't make any sense. Because, like, for a tenth of the effort that they spend trying to sabotage and destroy other people, they could improve themselves. You see, these people hate themselves. They don't like what's on the inside. They're none of us do. I mean, we all know that we're very wanting. We're not the men we want to be. This is why we try and be humble. We try and forgive other people. We try and be better people. And when something good happens to us, we really appreciate it because we know we don't deserve it. These people know they don't deserve it. And so if anything good happens to them, they use that to destroy somebody else and make them just as miserable. Imagine growing old as a narcissist. You know, you hate yourself, you hate life, and your body's falling apart. But part of the beauty of growing old, of maturing, is, you know, gaining wisdom, is having a better understanding of the world, is having friends and loved ones that you have this rapport with, this history with, and this intimacy. They've seen you at your worst, and they're still your friend. And it's growing. Networking, touching other people, caring in this imperfect world. These people, they react violently if you actually touch them. If you try and caress them, they hate that because they don't think they deserve it. And so as they get older, the more and more miserable they become. Because not only are they just as alone as they were, they're alone and they're old and they're ugly. And so they go out of their way to ruin, destroy, and defile everything they can. It makes absolutely no sense. Not a lick of sense. It's the most terrible and evil thing you will see. And that right there, it's a supernatural level of evil. So yeah, folks, evil exists. And it doesn't make sense. It's hard to believe in. But if you're willing to admit the possibility of it, you will see it. Stay frosty, boys.